division champion, you know, not just, you know, anybody could do that. You know, it's not easy. We've had great fighters that can only do one division title. They're still great. Somebody that's able to do 4 divisions is not easy, and very few can say they've done it, and he's one of them. So, you know, he's very talented. He's smart. He's a good counterpuncher, and he's got power.
You were the guy behind actually breaking Adrian Broner's code. You and Marcos took that first loss on him. How do you actually take somebody with the ability of Mikey, who obviously has better skill than Maidana, to defeat him again?
Well, look, Broner's 2 losses are to fighters that are, you know, similar style, you know, that just come forward and make it an ugly fight, which was Porter and Maidana. But Mikey's totally different. You know, Mikey doesn't fight like that. Mikey's a smart counterpuncher with great power, but, you know, we don't know how Broner's going to be able to handle that. You know, we don't know if Mikey's going to be successful doing that. But we're going to be ready to fight the way Mikey fights, and if that just doesn't work, then Mikey's going to be ready to fight similar to what, you know, Maidana did in the fight when they fight.
Broner was actually kind of like downplaying Mikey, saying that all of his victories and knockout wins were like 135 and below, for maybe he not knowing, but obviously Mikey has sparred Marcos, Brandon Rios, other fighters that are even heavier than Broner himself. Your thoughts on just Broner saying that Mikey?
You know, he does have a point, because all of Mikey's wins, you know, have been at 130, or knockouts have been at 130 under, except for 2 that he did at 135. You know, he does make sense, but, you know, he doesn't know that Mikey. I think Mikey hits a lot harder right now at 135 and 140 than he did at 126 and 130. Because coming down to 126 and 130 was taking a lot out of Mikey. Mikey was cutting a lot of weight, and that takes, you know, your power down. Now at 135 and 140, Mikey's comfortable, and I know, because I'm working with him, and I got my sparring partners that are welterweights telling me that Mikey hits as hard as any middleweight out there. So that's, you know, that he'll see when Mikey lands.
Since Marcos beat Broner's had a lot of personal life issues. He's had some losses since then. Do you think that Mikey is getting a Broner of the same caliber that Marcos fought, or has Broner slid a little since then?
Look, we're getting ready for the best Broner out there. You know, we already know that he's in training camp in Colorado, so he's taking it serious. He knows it's not an easy fight, and he knows it's pretty much do or die for him. So he's taking this fight very serious. So we're getting ready for the best Broner out there.
You know, before this fight was made, how did Broner's name come up?
You know, they had already mentioned it to us. They had already mentioned Broner's name, but not for July. They had mentioned for maybe before the end of the year, or even next year. They had mentioned him as a future possible opponent. But when Mikey asked for the fighters that Mikey asked for, which was to unify the title 135, and neither of them were available. Then Mikey asked for at 140. He said, "What's out there at 140 that's available?" So we thought about that other champion that just that beat Burns, Indongo or something. Yeah. And I believe he also has a mandatory that he has to do, or he was injured in his last fight, so that wasn't available either. And they brought Broner up, and when they brought that name up, it wasn't, you know, Steven Espinosa has been saying it. You know, it took 30 seconds for both guys to agree to that fight. It wasn't hard to be made. It was easy.